Welcome back to Mock the Mock, where we take a look at someone else's mock draft. And I'm mocking, giving you my views, thoughts, and opinions. We're looking at the Draft Network's own Damian Parson today. And I cannot wait to dive into this sucker. But what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy, Broshmo. Just in case you did not know so, go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content as always. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that nice, beautiful football discourse. I'll have a 7-round mock draft out for y'all tomorrow, so hey, be sure to check that out. I'm going to be working on all the overlays tonight and getting that recorded and ready for y'all bright and early. I am currently in the 6th round of that, but I wanted to stop and make sure y'all got another video for today. So let's go ahead and get into this sucker, starting with a trade at number 1. It's kind of a no-brainer. It feels like that, at least this way, you know, but who knows until it happens. It's all speculation, but it feels very likely the Colts will likely are going to be one of the favorites to trade up to that number 1 pick. So let's see who they get. Will Levis. Now, hey, this is Chris Ballard. This is the type of guy Chris Ballard and Jim Irsay would go for. A very toolsy upside guy. So basically, in this trade, the Colts will get 1. The Bears will get both 4 and 36 and a first rounder in 2024. So let's talk about the Colts getting Will Levis, because this is a cat you could instill in your offense immediately. I've told people the difference between him and a guy like Anthony Richardson, he's younger, maybe the tools are better. Like, why not him? It's like, well, you look at these guys, both have very high-end tools. One, the learning curve is not the same as the other, as you have Will Levis, who worked from very NFL concepts the last 2 years under former NFL coaches as OCs. Well, Anthony Richardson, he has not. So the learning curve is a bit bigger with him. But I know there's going to be hate for this in the comment section, and I don't disagree. I'm not exceptional. I'm not this high on Will Levis, but I think we need if we're going to start projecting what will happen, and if this is truly a projection of what might happen, I think this is fairly realistic. I think we could see Will Levis go first, and you'd be like, oh, they could probably sit at 4 and get Will Levis. Not if the NFL feels Will Levis is this plug-and-play starter with high-end traits. So trade up, get your guy. It makes sense to me, which is probably good news, because Bryce Young will now go to the Houston Texans. In fact, he does. Bryce Young going to the Houston Texans. They should take a quarterback. And honestly, if I'm the Texans, I kind of feel like sitting back at 2 is kind of fine. And you could possibly get Bryce Young if that's the guy you're in love with. Or even then, like, for me, CJ Stroud, Will Levis are kind of like fine prospects depending on how you feel about them here. But regardless, I think this pick should be quarterback. The Arizona Cardinals are going to go with Will Anderson. They're going to get some pass rush here. The Cardinals are making the necessary hires, blah, blah, blah. Will Anderson gives the Cardinals a go-to edge rusher to replace the losses of Hassan Reddick and Chandler Jones. So, again, I'm kind of cool with this either way. Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, they are basically 1A and 1B when it comes to the best non-quarterback prospects in this class, which means Jalen Carter is going to the Chicago Bears. There it is, Jalen Carter, Chicago Bears. And I think, honestly, I think this is fine. I think this is I feel like it's going to be a bit easier to project the first 4 picks in this class, because it's kind of those guys, whether you could really rotate CJ Stroud and Will Levis, kind of like, depending on how you feel the NFL feels about those guys, one of them will be in the mix for one of these top 4 spots. But Matt Eberflus would be ecstatic to get Jalen Carter, and they get a extra early second round pick now that they don't have with the Chase Claypool trade. They get an extra first rounder 2024. It's a nice haul for the Bears. The Seattle Seahawks are going to go with Tyree Wilson. This is also a popular mock spot for Tyree Wilson. You get a guy who was got incredible length, good size, plus size, moves well for a 275 pounder. Someone who is a bit more versatile. You can line him up as like a 3-4 end. You can line him up as an edge rusher. He's a very sure run defender, so you know he's going to be a 3-down player that just needs to be more polished as a pass rusher. It's a good pick here. I always say, me personally, I would go with Myles Murphy, but again, I can understand if you really dig Tyree Wilson. His production has been better the last 2 years. Now, the Carolina Panthers trade with the Detroit Lions here. I imagine they're going quarterback or CJ Stroud. That's the only quarterback. I think that's I don't know if I would take Anthony Richardson in the top 10. But yeah, here it is, CJ Stroud. So this is what it is here. So Carolina will get the 6. Detroit gets pick 9, a first rounder in 2024, and a third rounder, the 93rd pick this season. And Carolina, they get their quarterback of the future. That's well worth 2 first rounders, I think, because this is a team that's actually very talented, and you managed to keep your second rounder. I do believe they have their second rounder. Matter of fact, yeah. They're going to be picking at 40 and at 62. So they actually have 2 second rounders. So this still allows you to make moves in this draft to get good prospects. So I'm fine with this move. I think Carolina, they should move up if they want to and address that quarterback position. The Las Vegas Raiders are going with Paris Johnson. I think the Raiders could go a variety of different spots. Whether that be, I imagine they're going to bring in a veteran quarterback. They could go offensive line. They could go pass rush. They could go corner. I think there's just a variety of spots. Paris Johnson, if you're looking specifically for a tackle and you're not sure Peter Skoronski can play tackle in the NFL, a lot of teams are gonna weigh on the side of Paris Johnson. Now, the Atlanta Falcons, they're going with Christian Gonzalez. Okay, they get a cover corner there to be a number 2 across from AJ Terrell. As they also have Casey Hayward still there. So, I mean, you just get really good cornerback depth. Preferably, I like to go with edge rush because I think their pass rush is dog water. But you get your pick of the top corner of this class. I think that's fine. And then Detroit Lions, they trade down. They get Myles Murphy. I'm fine with that. I like that. You got James Houston, who's more of this designated pass rusher, as we see here. So you get a guy that could play early downs, run defense, and then on passing situations, Myles Murphy could kick inside next to Liam McNeil. And then you just have this fierce, ferocious pass rush on passing down. So I do like that. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles, they're staying put here with New Orleans pick. They're going to get Brian Brazee. I like this pick. Listen, you're going to pair this cat up with Jordan Davis, as Brazee is more of this penetrating type, and you're kind of hoping maybe get a corner or some type of secondary player there at the back end of the first round. At least that would be my hopes. And it's just like after Brazee, the interior class, there's a significant drop off, because then you're staring at 2 nose tackles with a little bit of upside in Siaki Ika and Mozzie Smith. So that's how I understand this pick, that Brazee is probably a very good option here. Tennessee tight ends are going Broderick Jones. I thought it might be Pierce Skronsky, but okay. So they want a for sure tackle. He's a good run blocker. Very good run blocker, nice sturdy base, good athlete. That just needs to polish up on his technique and work on his footwork. He also provides great length, so good pick. Derrick Henry, he's the engine of your offense for at least the next year. So, yeah. The Houston Texans at 12 via the Cleveland Browns go Quentin Johnston. It sounds right to pair up your now franchise quarterback with a new receiving threat, get a nice young receiving core. So for the next 4 seasons, you also, you're pairing up Bryce Young with his former teammate John Mechie. So it's this is a good combination. I like this. You got Nico Collins there as well. Chris Moore is a good good depth there at the wide receiver position. Don't know what his contract is. He may be a free agent, so maybe that's kind of like whatever, but still, I like this. The Jets, I feel like this is Peter Skoronski. Surprised me. It's Brian Branch. I love it. I love Brian Branch. I think he's a good fit. A guy that could play sub-package in the slot. He could play, I think he could definitely actually play a more traditional safety role for Salah's defense there. Regardless, I love Brian Branch. He's almost a top 10 player for me. He's just that much of a difference maker. I really thought this pick be Skoronski, though, just because I also like the idea of the Jets trying to solidify the trenches. Now, the New England Patriots are going to go with Jordan Addison. So they get that nice separator that they don't really have on the offense for Mac Jones and company. It's a good pick. Will the Patriots take a receiver in the first round? We'll find out. All right. Lucas Van Ness going to the Packers. I thought this was going to be Michael Mayer because it's just such an easy spot to put Michael Mayer. So, yeah, Lucas Van Ness, he's going to test out exceptionally well. He's a bit unpolished, but he gives you a very good versatile size. He's exceptionally strong. So, yeah, get used to seeing Van Ness in the top 20. All right, we got the Washington Commanders going with Joey Porter Jr. Out of Washington, we know that they need cornerback help, and luckily there's a lot of good corners in this class, and thus far only one's been taken off the board. Porter be a good fit for Jack Del Rio's defense. There we go. The Pittsburgh Steelers, we got Skoronski, and we got Devon Witherspoon. Those are, I think, probably be my two picks here. And it's Peter Skoronski, so they get a guy that could play guard. Hopefully, maybe he could play tackle. You probably try him out at tackle first. He's a really good fit for the Steelers run scheme. So good pick there. We got the Detroit Lions. So all the corners are okay. They're next. All the corners have fallen here for the most part. Like you got Devon Witherspoon, who'd probably be my pick here. You're gonna be pairing him up with Miles Murphy. That's a very good first round. I mean, guys like Keely Ringo, Cam Smith, they're still in contention, but Witherspoon had a phenomenal season. Other potential picks. You can get real crazy, do Anthony Richardson here. I don't think that'll be the case. And maybe Drew Sanders or Trenton Simpson. Take one of those linebackers. I think Simpson probably be more the guy they look for. But I think it's Devon Witherspoon. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do this for the rest of the picks. So I love this. You get corner to pair up with Jeff Kuda. I know a lot of people are kind of out on him and say he was terrible during this back half of the year. I don't think he was nearly as terrible as people say. He's also a guy you've invested a very high draft pick in. Pair him with Devon Witherspoon. Already the defense is looking so much better. So Tampa Bay Buccaneers are next on the clock. We haven't seen a Bijan Robinson landing spot yet. So we need to start considering where Bijan could end up. Osiris Torrance, get that guard play to help try to solidify the line. The left tackle spot was really bad this year left tackle. Left guard spot was really terrible for the Bucs this year. We could do Cam Smith, Keely Ringo because of the corner position. You could take one of the linebackers. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility with Levante David being a free agent. I think that's probably the... we can also mention Anthony Richardson here as well. And it is Keely Ringo. Hey, Jamil Dean, Sean Murphy-Bunting, they are free agents. So grabbing more cornerback depth would be key. And obviously, you get a guy who, he likes to bite on double moves and such. Sometimes he'll give too much cushion and let a lot of stuff underneath. But he's big. He's a very good straight line athlete. A lot of tools there. All right, Seattle Seahawks next on the clock. They took Tyree Wilson. We could talk about maybe going Cam Smith. We could take one of the linebackers. Osiris Torrance is in play here. You could take a swing for Anthony Richardson. So there's a variety of different routes that they can go. Let's see what they do. They, in fact, take the swing on Anthony Richardson. So it kind of feels like a lotto ticket, a guy you can develop while you still have Geno Smith around this season. And I think that's fine. If you view this pick as like, okay, let's take a legit swing for the fences. Anthony Richardson, you can develop him for a year while you have maybe like Geno on the franchise tag, and then just roll him out there after in year 2. So I understand it. The dude's got like a huge arm, phenomenal athlete, and it just needs to work on his accuracy and his timing. Like his anticipation is not all that great, but things you could work with as he rides the pine, so to speak. Miami Dolphins forfeited their pick, so let's not even think about what they could have got. But the Los Angeles Chargers, Michael Mayer feels like a good possibility here. That's the first name that comes to mind. We could talk about maybe they just getting a space eater, but it feels like it's early for Siaki Ika and Mozzie Smith. Like tackle Anton Harrison. I think with the receivers off the board in this, Jackson Smith, but I don't think he's the guy you're looking for. You're looking for that vertical separator, legit speedster. So I'm going to go with Michael Mayer. Let's see. And it's in fact Michael Mayer. I should have mentioned Bijan too, because Austin Eckler is a free agent after next season. But Michael Mayer, yeah, like Gerald Everett's not like the future at the position. He's fine. But Michael Mayer is basically easy slide in replacement and be a good security blanket for Justin Herbert. Baltimore Ravens are next on the clock. Bijan could be a landing spot, especially with how ticked off J.K. Dobbins was at the end of that game. But I think Jackson Smith and Njigba just feels like such an easy shoe-in for this spot. In fact, it is. Jackson Smith and Njigba, he's one of the best run-blocking receivers in this class. He's so good after the catch. Just getting him underneath would be very nice for Lamar Jackson. Next, Minnesota Vikings. Cam Smith is a possibility. Let's not rule out Bijan. They could try to get off Dalvin Cook's contract relatively soon. Cam Smith just feels like the pick, though. Like I'm running through other possibilities, maybe a linebacker, but at that point, I think I'm still taking Cam Smith. I don't know. This is going to be interesting. I don't really know what to expect here. Okay, it's Cam Smith. I was like, I don't really know what to expect for this pick now that I'm like talking about it out loud. So yeah, get more quarterback help, man. They got toasted in the playoffs by Daniel Jones, and then Daniel Jones followed that up with just getting shut down by the Eagles. So obviously your defense, in particular the corner position, it needs help. All right, Jacksonville Jaguars are next on the clock. I love Osiris Torrance for this pick. They need guard help. I think he is an easy pick for me. Other areas they may go, I'm not going to lie to y'all, I can't really think of one. Maybe if you want to go with, maybe if you don't like what you saw with Walker Little at tackle, maybe you go with Anton Harrison, but it's Osiris Torrance, I think. Oh, it's Rashee Rice. I was not expecting that. I mean, I think this is high for Rashee Rice. He isn't an explosive athlete. I think he's going to be fine enough, but I don't think he has those wide receiver 1 traits. And I mean, he could be a solid wide receiver 2, but I don't think one that I'm taking in the first round. You already brought in Calvin Ridley. You have Zay Jones. You have Christian Kirk. I just think there's better spot. I really think Osiris Torrance would have been such a no-brainer add to me. Giants next on the clock. I don't think there's a receiver here. So Osiris Torrance is one of my favorite picks here for the Giants. You could also talk about linebacker with Trenton Simpson, Drew Sanders. I think those are 2. Linebacker or Osiris Torrance. Clark Phillips, they go corner. I don't think Clark Phillips is necessarily a good fit. He's an undersized corner. You're mainly looking for these outside corners, and I don't think he's going to be a guy that can necessarily play in that system on the outside consistently. So I get like this guy's a dog, but you do worry about his size. Can he consistently keep up with the more physical receivers on the outside? Guys like Terry McLaurin and A.J. Brown, who are in your division. Dallas Cowboys, Osiris Torrance honestly won't be bad here. I do think about maybe a space here in the middle of Siaki Ika, Mozzie Smith. Bijan Robinson's actually the obvious. I think no, you know what I think is Bijan. You just had Tony Pollard go down to injury. Sounds like he's only out for like 3 months potentially. But he's going to free agency. I don't think they can bring him back. You bring in Bijan and you could eventually get off Zeke's contract in another year or two. So I think it's Bijan. Oh, it's Siaki Ika. Dang it, dude. I was so sure this was going to be Bijan. Dang it, dude. So they get the space eater in the middle. They really just don't have that. They've tried a couple of guys in the past, like Tristan Hill and like Quentin Bohanna. And they just really haven't found that guy. So get in Siaki Ika. You get the nice space eater who actually has a little bit of pass rush upside. He's a better than you would think athlete at 350. Buffalo Bills. This is Bijan. I'm gonna. Bijan can't fall this far, man. He's just too good. It's Andrew Voorhees. Yo, did Bijan come off the board and I just didn't notice? Andrew Voorhees. Like they need help at guard. Wow, over Osiris Torrance. I think the draft network is higher on Voorhees than Torrance, though. Which is wild, because I'm exceptionally high on Voorhees, but I have Osiris Torrance on one. But, I mean, honestly, he is a plug-and-play starter. He's a guy that could probably, if you need him to, kick out the right tackle if Spencer Brown keeps struggling. But he's probably going to take the guard position. They do need help on the offensive interior big time. Cincinnati Bengals. This could be Bijan. Then you could get off of Joe Mixon in the future. I doubt it. You could probably start talking about maybe one of the other tight ends here. Dalton Kincaid. Maybe they could figure out. I know Darnell Washington's kind of a high here for like the draft network. They really love Darnell Washington. I don't know if he's exactly a good fit for Cincinnati. Jermaine Pratt's a free agent. Maybe you go with one of the linebackers. And it's Darnell Washington. I kind of assumed it would. I know they're pretty high on Darnell Washington. I don't know if he's exactly a great fit here. Just because he's probably the best blocking tight end. But, I mean, he's 6'7", 270. But he's not an exceptional athlete. He's a really good straight line athlete. But he's not like a dynamic athlete at the tight end spot. So... yeah. Who's next? The Denver Broncos. Well, Javonte Williams will be out probably until November if it's anything like J.K. Dobbins' timeline. So Bijan is definitely in play here. We could talk about Anton Harrison, get that other guard. Osiris Torrance, I think, would also make sense. I think those are the guys I'm thinking of. Oh, they go Cody Mauch. Okay, so it's like, to hell with Anton Harrison. Cody Mauch, he's got a versatile body type. That's why I list him at O-line. Good movement skills. Can he keep up at tackle will be the question. If not, it'll be fine. You can kick him to the inside and have him play guard while you have, I guess, Glasgow or Cushenberry play center. So... yeah, I mean, I think this is too high for him, but that's just my opinion. All right, this is the final pick, right? This should be the Eagles. No, it's Kansas City. Okay, so then the Eagles are the final pick. So Kansas City. Bijan would be sexy here. I'm not gonna lie. I've been loving putting like either Josh Downs or a Zay Flowers here. I've actually really come around to that for the Chiefs. Trying to think of maybe an edge here. I don't know if there's one that I really love for Spagnola's defense. So I'm thinking this is probably going to be an offensive player. Oh, it's DeJuan Jones. So they go with the tackle spot. Why did I even mention Anton Harrison? I should have. I know they need tackle. They're not going to be able to get a deal done with Orlando Brown and Who's the other cat out there? Wiley. He's been meh. So yeah, no, tackle's kind of a big need for Kansas City. All right, well, Eagles are getting Bijan. Let's just go check this out now. Bijan. Low-hanging fruit, right? Yeah, I know. This feels like a move that is inevitable. No, it doesn't, because Bijan's not going to fall this far. Someone's going to take a shot on him. Do we know who? No, it could be a variety of different teams. That's the whole thing a lot of people are doing now. They're trying to figure out where Bijan could fit. Oh, he could go to Detroit. He could go to Green Bay. He could go, maybe Buffalo trades up. He could go, you go to Dallas. He could go, he could go to the Giants. Maybe they can't do a deal with Saquon Barkley. But sounds like Saquon Barkley doesn't want to reset the running back market. So maybe he's going to come back at a decent cost. Like, the Ravens, like we all know that from like he's gonna be picked inside the top 25. A lot of us believe he's gonna be picked inside the top 20. It's just, where is he gonna go? I get, oh man, don't know where. I'll just put him into 32 to the Eagles. Miles Sanders is a free agent. Not saying it's lazy, but it's like, kind of is, but I understand it. He is hard to project where he may go, but this would be a great pick for the Eagles. But I think that's all they got for us. It is. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's it for the video. Go ahead, do the YouTube thing. Remember, 7-round mock draft tomorrow. We'll also do a walk the mock tomorrow night. So that's going to be a ton of fun. But until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.